Hello again and welcome back to our course on Excel 2019 Advanced. In this section we're going to look at Goal Seek, and initially I'm going to show you Goal Seek with what is a very straightforward calculation. As you may or may not know, there is a trigonometric function called the sine of an angle, and Excel involves a function to find the sine of an angle. Now you can look up about the sine function in Excel Help, and it will tell you it needs to look up the sine of an angle in what are called radians. So if I have an angle, so let's say 30 degrees, to convert it to radians, I multiply it by pi. And remember, pi is an Excel function, but it has no argument. So I've put two empty round brackets. And then we divide by 180. And that gives me the angle in radians. And then, of course, to find the sine of that angle, I use the sine function. And the sine of 30 degrees is 0.5 or 0.5. So really, if you don't understand trigonometry, hopefully that's a fairly straightforward calculation. Now, supposing I wanted to find the angle whose sine was 0.6. Now, you may well be aware of the fact that there is another function in Excel that essentially does the reverse of what we've just done, and it's called the arcsine function. But for the moment, we're going to pretend that that function doesn't exist. So let's suppose that I want to try and find out what angle has a sine of 0.6. Generally speaking, increasing the angle will increase the sine. So let's try, say, 40 degrees. Now, clearly that's a little bit too much, so let me drop that down to, say, 38. And 0.61, not too bad, we're getting a little bit closer. And I could carry on this way and eventually I might get to my answer, but that's not a particularly efficient way of doing things. It takes a little while and you may struggle to get it to the exact number that you're looking for. That's where the Goal Seek function in Excel can help you out. So let's go to the Data tab, across to What If Analysis in the Forecast group, and we'll select the Goal Seek option. So first of all, you select the cell whose value you want to set. So in our case, that is cell C4. And then you specify the value you want in there, which is 0.6. And then you specify the cell you want to change, which in this case is C2. Click on OK. And that's the answer. 36.864 is the angle. Now, it probably would have taken me some time to iterate to that myself, so Goal Seek has saved me quite a bit of time and trouble. I did mention just now that we need to forget about the arcsine function, which would have given us the answer even quicker. Bear in mind with Goal Seek that you're not necessarily dealing with a single function in a formula as we are here. The answer we could be trying to arrive at could be based on an extremely complex formula with many functions involved, and there wouldn't necessarily be a simple way of reversing what the formula does. So Goal Seek is particularly useful when you have a complex situation and you can't really just reverse something else. In effect, you're getting Goal Seek to do all the hard work for you. Now you notice the accuracy that we've got there. 0.5 and then 3920416 as the sine. Now, we can't always get exactly an answer with a trigonometric function. Supposing you wanted something a little bit more accurate than that, well, you can control the accuracy using Excel options. So if I go to File and down to Options, and on the Formulas page, and on the right, click Enable Iterative Calculation. And I could increase the number of iterations, so I could say up to 500 iterations. And that would in effect increase the accuracy of the answer. Supposing I also said that I wanted this accurate up to 6 decimal places. And click on OK. So make a note of what we've got there now as the sine, and let's do it again. Now I've got something that's even more accurate, and in theory I could make it as accurate as I want it to be. And by the way of a second example of goal seek, let's return to our payment calculations. If I wanted to borrow $5,000 at a 5% interest rate with 60 monthly payments, my monthly payments would be $93.96. Supposing I wanted to know how much I could borrow with a monthly payment of $200. Straightforward enough, we can do that using goal seek. So back to data, what if analysis, goal seek. The cell I want to set is C5. The value I want in there is 200. And I want to achieve that by changing cell C2. So I can now see that I can borrow $10,642. Now, one reason of showing you this example is to point out something important about goal seek. I couldn't use the goal seek in an array situation. I couldn't put a whole list of interest rates in row 3 here and set up a goal seek that worked on all those different interest rates to tell me each of the interest rates and how much I could borrow for $200 a month. It's very much a function you use in these kind of specific cases, but in the cases where it can be used, goal seek is a very powerful tool, and it's particularly useful when you're dealing with complex calculations. So that's it on goal seek. In the next section, we're going to take a look at solver, so please join me for that.